Have you been feeling like you're a little bit off track and you don't know which direction you should be pointing yourself to go? And maybe you've been sitting here doing a whole bunch of different things and you don't see how they can all be united in one thing. Then you're going to want to listen up to this episode. Hello, lovely dynamic women, and welcome to the Dynamic Women podcast. I am Diane Rolston, your host. And today I'm going to be talking about how you can be finding your North Star and the importance of a North Star. So first, I'm going to discuss the concept of a North Star in personal development. Then I'm going to talk a little bit more about what happens if you don't have a North Star. And then I'm going to give you in the end 3 questions you can ask yourself to start figuring out what your North Star actually is. So let's go first at what is a North Star? So metaphorically speaking, we can think of it like a symbol, right? A thing that acts as a life guide, a reference point for you. It's really named after the North Star, the Polaris, because it's been fixed in the northern sky and it aligns with the Earth's spinning. Now, you don't have to be remembering any of that. But basically back in the day, right back before we had all the really cool GPS systems and the technology and the electronics that we have today, sailors used to figure out which way they needed to go based on where the North Star was. So you can just imagine how important it was to be able to know, where am I and where am I going? So when we think of this North Star with you and your personal growth, you may just think of like, oh yeah, I have a career plan, or I pick goals to go after, or I have a theme for the year, or a word for the year. Well, basically finding your North Star though in personal development, it really means you're figuring out what really matters to you and which, when you look at different things in your life, how are you going to point those in the right direction? So it is like a symbol. It really helps you to make decisions, set goals, deal with challenges with a sense of direction. So it's going to give you some clarity. It's really life's GPS, your soul's GPS, maybe your business or career's GPS. It's your personal North Star that is going to help you to navigate the journey. So you think like, am I off track? Well, where's the North Star? Oh, it's back over there. Okay, I need to pivot. I need to change how I am going, make different decisions, have different goals, whatever it may be. So picture this. Maybe someone is all about making their community better. And that's their North Star. Like everything has to be helping their community be better. And if they're doing something that's not helping their community be better, then it's not a fit for them. Maybe their North Star is around their family and the legacy that they want to live. And so if they're doing or leave the legacy that they want to leave. So if they're looking at other things and they're thinking, wow, this is not in alignment with this legacy that I want to leave for my family, then it tells them, I'm off course. I need to make some changes. So everything they do, like decisions, actions, goals, it's all aimed at making their community better, their family better, whatever it may be, whatever that North Star is, making it better at the end result. So you're probably thinking, okay, that sounds really cool. Yeah, maybe I want a North Star, or I have all these other things instead. Well, I want to let you know that if you don't have a clear North Star in your life, it can lead to you kind of feeling like you have a sense of aimlessness. You're like wandering around with a lack of direction. So have you ever thought like, oh yeah, I've done this, and done this, but I haven't really felt like I've moved ahead, or I haven't really felt like there's big alignment in what I'm doing? Then you're going to have struggles. There are going to be some potential consequences. I'm going to go through them now because that's going to tell that saboteur, shut up. We really need to get our North Star in place. And then at the end, I'm going to give you those 3 questions that you can ask yourself to kind of get that first step toward figuring out what your North Star is. And just to let you know, I'll take a moment right now to let you know Dynamic Year is open for enrollment. As of today, we're still open. I really encourage you to check it out and see what Dynamic Year is about and how you can have your 1-page plan, your Dynamic Year plan, and my support throughout the year to help guide you and keep you accountable. Okay, so now let's look at these consequences. First is lack of focus. And I hear this all the time that clients and people I meet, they're like, I'm just feeling unfocused now. So without that North Star, you may find it challenging to focus on your specific objectives, your specific priorities, and you're not going to have like that drive that you need for the focus because you're like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to do these other things. When you know what the North Star is, then you're like, okay, I got to do these things. I got to do these steps because I know that this is going to get me closer to that North Star. Okay, so that's the first one. The next is decision paralysis. Have you ever sat there and been like, I don't know what decision I should make? But when your North Star is super clear, it's your guiding light. It tells you where you should be going. So it makes decision making so much easier. And there's going to be no like issue with you making an aligned decision or an aligned choice. The next one is uncertainty and anxiety. Sadly, a lack of a North Star may contribute to you feeling uncertainty, worried about the future, really with no clear vision or purpose to work towards. You're going to get in that place of feeling uncomfortable with it, feeling like, what am I doing? I don't know. I'm not sure. And you don't want to be in that place because that's when you lay awake at night and you think, I don't know, am I doing the right thing? Is this a good idea for me? What should I do here? And so you do get into that uncertainty, and that can cause you to have less confidence in yourself and in your path. The next piece is you're going to have real difficulty in setting goals. Because if you're going to set meaningful and fulfilling goals, it's too hard without that overarching direction to guide your aspirations, right? So you're down here in the everyday, okay, what am I going to do? What steps, what priorities do I have? Where do I need to focus? And if you don't have that overarching North Star to be able to guide you, it's going to be super unclear. And you're not going to know which goals are priority, which goals you should even make, which then gets us into the next one, which is lack of motivation. North Star gives you your clear purpose. It also will then create more of a passion for you. So it serves as a really powerful motivator. Without it, you're really going to experience a lack of motivation and inspiration in your endeavors, your opportunities, and in your goals. And really, lack of motivation makes it so much harder. Then you have to like build energy to do things. The next is you might feel like you're wandering through life. Life might feel like a series of random events. I kind of mentioned that earlier because there's no unifying principle, right? When you have the North Star, it's going to lead you to a sense of accomplishment, that you're hitting your milestones. Otherwise, you're going to be in that place of feeling like you're drifting, you're wandering without a purpose. When you don't have a purpose, you're going to lack that motivation, and you're not going to feel that sense of urgency to get things done. It's just, you're going to be more apathetic. The next one, which I hope you care about, is limited personal growth. You know, when you have this North Star, it will help you to have continuous personal development. But without it, there's going to be that lack of intentional growth and self-improvement. So you're not going to see the things you need in order to move forward. I took a stand-up comedy class because I did see how that was going to serve me in helping me give better speaking engagements, better keynotes, help me with my training, my workshops with my clients, which my North Star being that I'm really focused on supporting high-level women to stop flying under the radar, to have more balanced lives and reach the success that they're wanting. I want there to be more leaders in the world. And we're only going to do that by empowering women to be able to do that. So that personal growth will increase and be in the right place rather than you paying all this money for things that aren't in alignment with your North Star and aren't going to help you to move forward in the right direction. You're also going to have difficulty overcoming challenges. Really, a guiding principle can provide strength and resilience, right? When you see that North Star, you're going to be like, okay, I can get through these challenging times. Without it, without that North Star, overcoming obstacles, it may become more challenging, more stressful, and really drain you of your time, your energy, and your peace. Got two more for you. The next is strained relationships. And you might not think of this as like, well, this is my life and my North Star, but really a lack of personal direction. It might affect your relationships with other people, as it may make it really challenging to communicate your values and your aspirations and your goals and your desires to them. When you have that clarity, it's going to be really easy for you to be able to explain why things are important to you and to be able to make maybe decisions in your life that would negatively affect them, like you're not going to go partying or you're not going to go on that trip because you have other priorities and values that you want to be in alignment with. And the last one is really reduce satisfaction and fulfillment. Without that clear purpose, without the guiding principle of the North Star, there may be a reduced sense of satisfaction and fulfillment, even when you do succeed. And that's why some people get to that success point, and then they go, oh, but now I'm not even happy now. Oh, I thought this was the thing I had to do to be happy. And it's not, because the North Star, when you're in alignment with that, when you're moving forward with that, you will feel satisfaction and fulfillment. And really, life should be measured by satisfaction, not just success. So let's help you now that you've heard all of those. I'm sure you're like, whoa, that's a lot, Diane. This is really showing that it's important to have a North Star. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to give you 3 questions that you can ask yourself that's really going to help you to start to open up this exploration of figuring out what your North Star is. Another way that I talk about it in coaching is around your personal statement, or it's your passion. It is the main goal, your vision for your life, your mission, the movement you want to have. So finding that North Star, it's really such a personal journey. I've taken a lot of clients through it. It's funny, I just received a lovely email from a client I had years ago who has finally kind of completed and been at the step that she needed to be in order now to leave the career that she thought in her 20s that she wanted, but now in her 40s, she realizes this is where she needs to be. And it was all based on us opening up the door on this idea of this North Star, where she really wanted to go, the ideal life for her. And she's finally had the courage to take that leap to go towards it. She was doing little bits here and there. And it's so amazing to hear how she's starting her own business in it, and that she's getting extra education to help her get there. And so in the email, she said, thank you, Diane. Like, the work that we have done, that we did together, was the jumping off point, and it was really the piece that helped her to know that this was the North Star that she needed. So here are 3 questions you can ask yourself. First one, what do you really care about? What do you really care about? You can think of all areas of life, but I'm just like overarching, what do you really care about? What gets you, you can also think about, what is it like that fires you up? The second question is, what's important to you? What's important to you? And with these questions, I hope you write them down and put your answers, and then ask yourself again, and then write the answers, and then put what else, and then write the answers, and see which of the answers for these questions starts to really get into that soul place. If you haven't listened or watched or read yet around my journey and how my coach shifted me, and how I'm going from the work boots into the sparkly shoes, the sparkly shoes for me is the soul work, right? It's what's really important to me. So spend some time with these questions. And I haven't forgotten, I'm going to give you the third one. What do you want to achieve in life? What do you want to achieve in life? It's like the question that I was asked by another coach, which was around what is your purpose here on the earth? So if you prefer that question, answer that question, or make that a 4th question. What was the purpose of you being on earth? I'm actually going to give you another one. So that's 4 questions. I'm going to give you one more. This just kind of came to me in the moment. This is what happens sometimes when I dive into these topics. This question is, what's the legacy I want to leave? What's the legacy I want to leave? I'm not going to say much more about the topic. You now know what the North Star is, the importance of it, the definition of it. You also know all the different reasons why you could have negative consequences to not have a North Star, and really all the amazing benefits to having one. And for this personal journey, I gave you some questions. I said I would give you 3, and I'm now giving you 5 questions that you can use that are really going to help you to get things started with that North Star. And as I mentioned, the Dynamic Year program is open. This is a really great way for you to have a North Star for this year. So by making that 1-page plan, that dynamic life blueprint, that is your North Star for the year. If you want to talk more about how do I find my North Star for myself, or, okay, Diane, I've done the questions, I got the answers, but I really want to explore this more. Sure. Send me a message, Diane@DianeRolston.com. We can talk about how I can support you to really lock that in, give you the clarity so you can really implement that into your life. Thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate you. And, I'm putting together right now the topics for 2024. And so what do you want me to talk about? What are the things that you're struggling with? Or what are some things that you wish that you could learn and ask me about? Please send them over to team@DianeRolston.com. I would love to hear from you. If you haven't yet, hit like, subscribe, and share this with a friend, because as Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So don't we want to increase the average of those around us by sharing educational content like this? Thank you so much again for listening. And until next time, stay dynamic. Bye.